Tonight we have Mr. Steve Bucknor, the international umpire, international cricket umpire. Yes, the FIFA referee, the mentor. Yes. So we're going to introduce Mr. Steve Bucknor. We're going to have some questions. A little short interview. Sammy G, what's going on?
Well, I mean, at the presence of greatness, star. Eh? Mean a presence of greatness, knowledge. Yes, may I say? Run.
Yes, Sammy, yes.
Me love you for your information where you're presenting. You know. See, sir? But guess who they are with? More knowledge than you.
Yes.
How I say?
No.
Eh? You go seek for your knowledge in your feet in the head. How you get it out tonight?
No, man. I was talking to Mr. Bucknor and I asked him a few questions about John Kudu and he gave me a lecture.
Shit.
You know, I had to do research. He gave me a lecture. Yeah.
Lovely. So I go on the evening, pa. Oh, yeah, enjoy the weather.
A lot different from New York, man. A lot different. The sun is shining and it is reasonably warm.
Well, you know what I'm going to throw up on you before we go no further. We know you're a man that love sports. So, between football in America, so let's say soccer, and cricket that you're known for, which you love more?
None of them.
None of them?
No.
What do you mean by you don't love none of them more?
Simple reason. Going to high school, these were seasonal sports. So in September, it was a football. In May, it was cricket. So we played what was in season. And in January, it was track and field. And I did all three. So there's no special love for any. When the time comes, I will perform accordingly.
This man not easy, you know. Eh? She just love both of them.
No, yes, certainly.
Wow.
Yes, both of them. And as a matter of fact, I have followed you somewhat and I realized that you have kind of mastered all of them in every sense. I want to ask a question to kind of set this tone for the interview, right? The question I want to ask, I realize that you are in Florida now, right?
Yes.
You're right here. And I realize there's a game, soccer brought you down or football brought you down. You know, and I want to ask the question, tell the listeners why exactly you're in Florida at this point of the year. Tell them.
Well, I was asked by Rossi to come down here to become the coach, but I couldn't say no to him because he was one of my students, he was one of my youngsters, he was one of my sons way back when. And the influence is still there. We talk very often. And because he wanted me down, I did accordingly.
Yeah, but yes, that I saw that and I was happy when I heard about it. But I think there's a greater connection that you have with the youths in Montego Bay and across maybe the world, right? And I can see that. I want to ask you, why have you been able to maintain such connection with Rossi and others across the globe, New York, Florida, everywhere?
I love children. I have many of my own. But away from that, I associate with so many persons. Coming from where I came from, it was an association that play. It is healthy to play. And because of that, that's where my association came from. And not knowing, I started as a high school teacher. I taught at Sainsbury Technical for 4 years.
Stats.
Therefore, what it means is I maintain the love for children, and because of teaching at States, I have found myself involved in sports more than anything else because I was an accountant before that, or at least a bookkeeper at Holiday Inn. And once I went to States, it gave me the possibilities, the occasion I was there to do sports, as well as teaching inside the classroom. And with that influence, sports has become a part of me, or maybe I have become a part of sports.
I think it's both ways, right? One of the things that I always have seen in Montego Bay, number one post office, right at where they have the printry, the station there, right? I always see you sitting down there and you had a group of men, you're the center of it. I passed you several mornings and you were like giving people guidance. I'm going to ask you to tell us, if you can recall, what were some of the conversations like back then?
It was mainly football, and
Mainly
especially,
football.
yes, the football played inside of Montego Bay and in Jamaica. There were many debates, many debates, and it went on for as long as the sun would hold its own on the eastern side. Once the sun comes over, the debate is over because these guys would now have to transfer across the road to sell their newspaper.
Yes, I can recall. I can recall those times when I passed. I said, what is Mr. Bucknor talking about? And the men are so in tune, listening. And I'm sure there must have been some mentorship taking place there. I guarantee you, because you're always listening cleanly to you.
But hold on, surprisingly, the owner of the establishment there said, Mr. Bucknor, I am happy that you're sitting down right there in the mornings. These guys behave themselves, they don't make any noise, and my business continue to flourish because there was a happy medium, happy area. Sometimes the business those coming in to buy will stop there to listen to what we were talking about.
I'm happy is that in that time, because now we do ask for like a commission, right?
So no, maybe, have you always been this soft spoken? Fear man, if you coach football, your voice just seems so low key, and is that so? Because your voice not louder than that, or it's just you're just a soft spoken individual.
It's a personality.
All right.
It's a personality. I chose not to be the loud spoken person, I might shout a little bit on the football field, yes. But other than that, I believe that you're rather you're received a lot better if you can say whatever it is in a softer tone, because shouting at persons, they think that it is something maybe derogatory, or they don't like to be shouted at. And thinking about black men or black people, they don't like a shout at them. So I say, then I can get my thing across silently, because if I speak quietly, you have to listen. If I shout, the words go past.
See it. I like that.
Good point. Good point.
Oh, goodness.
I'm going to ask a question. I'll switch it back to sports a bit. I know that you are or were a FIFA referee.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You're also an international umpire.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing your name as a boy in Jamaica, and I said maybe I was 12 as a person doing in-sport work with the Jamaican sport development, athletics, that sort of framework there. How did you really manage all of these at the same time? I know you talk about the seasons, but how do you move from being a FIFA international referee to moving into being an international umpire?
I did not move into any, sir. I was both at the same time.
You're both at the same time?
Yes.
So how did you conquer and maintain both at the same time?
Because of the seasons.
Oh, the seasons
The
again.
seasons made a difference, and excepting for one occasion when I was supposed to have been doing a football match, but cricket was there. But this was at the end of my stay as a referee. So I did both at the same time. And I'll tell you something better. I left from a test match to go and referee the National League final at the stadium on a Saturday.
Whoa. Must have been tired.
Of course, but being tired means nothing. Means that work is to be done, just go do the work.
And let me say, everyone in Jamaica respected you highly. Let me tell you, when you make a decision, they don't even talk about the rule. They said, Mr. Bucknor made that decision. What was the right call? That's the level of authority you had in the game and respect because the youngsters respected you.
How you do that? I mean, how you able to be so effective in your decision making and when you make it?
Well, it all started from high school, Fair play was the order of the day, and the principal kept plugging it in every day. Fair play, fair play, fair play. You are going to be respected later on if you are fair. You are going to be respected. Therefore, whatever some persons may say now, later on, it will be proven that you were fair, you gave it correctly most of the times, and you're down the middle.
Fair play.
Fair play. I think that has to do with respect too, because sometimes, I mean, you see the youngsters today with certain decisions made and they come in the referee face and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which I want us to kind of look at another thing now. You have created many rules. I've heard about rules that you have created for cricket. Can you highlight maybe 2 or 3 of the main rules that you think now that you would like to share with the audience?
Want to hear all of them?
You want to hear all of
What do you
them?
mean, want to hear all of them? No, 2 and 3. We are big.
How many do you have?
Maybe about 6.
All right, 6.
Want to hear them, man?
Now,
Share them.
for the 2000 edition of the MCC laws,